I read in an interview with you that you feel that female artists are better to ignore musical
I do
senses.
think that. I do think that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I think there's something about the way female artists approach music that has a lot less obsession with genre. I think male artists tend to, at least in the beginning of their careers, identify very much with a particular genre. Now, whether we're going to play post-rock, or we're going to play hip-hop, or we're going to play metal.
It's identification.
I think so. Maybe it's that sort of gang mentality. But then I think of the great female artists, and very often even their first record is almost impossible to categorize. You think of people like Björk or Kate Bush or Sinead O'Connor, traditionally, the great icons from the 70s and 80s. But even to this day, I hear a lot of female artists, and it's very hard. It's like, usually if you listen to a first record by a male artist or male band, you can tell their influences. It's those three, yeah, or that band. With a female, sometimes it's a lot more difficult to hear, which is why so many female artists just end up getting compared to Kate Bush and Björk. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction from the media. And I think, but what they're saying is, it's equally difficult to categorize, because those artists were very hard to categorize. And I think they're saying, okay, it's very hard to categorize that music. I don't know why that should be, but certainly I find listening to female artists, sometimes it's a lot more difficult to pinpoint where they're coming from. And I think that's fascinating, personally. Yeah.
And I think also it's fascinating, this need we have naming things, categorizing things.
Well, that's certainly, I mean, the whole industry is basically the foundation of the industry is based on being able to market to a particular demographic. And again, that's one of the problems with being someone that exists outside of that kind of easy categorization, is it does take years sometimes to find your audience, because you're not kind of fitting easily into an existing demographic. It's taken me 30 years of making records to find my audience, and I'm still finding new people, or they're finding me, because I've never been particularly, my music has never been particularly easy or friendly to mainstream pop culture, and it continues to exist pretty much outside of that. So how do you build an audience? Well, you build an audience over years and years, and it becomes more about word of mouth, friends recommending it to other people that they know, and it takes a long time. But once you've reached that point, your audience it's not a fickle audience. They tend to go with, I think there are people that have been listening to my music for years, and they don't always like everything I do, but they're prepared to stick with me. So I've kind of earned their...
They keep being interested.
Yeah, I've earned their respect by being someone that is going to change and evolve, and not always in the way they would like, but they're still prepared to listen, and that's amazing.